The Cottonwood County Citizen proudly presents Athlete of the Week. Hy-Vee in Windham is your employee-owned grocery store, featuring the freshest produce and a full-service meat department. Visit our deli with hot, ready-to-eat entrees and daily lunch counter specials. Great selection, outstanding service, Hy-Vee of Windham, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
I'm joined right now by Windham sophomore Hannah Dauer, our Athlete of the Week this week. Congratulations, Hannah.
Thank you.
Let's go back to Friday's game against Fairmont. And first off, it was kind of home away from home for you guys. You guys were in the old gym, and you don't play many games in the old gym, but every game that I've seen you guys play in the old gym, you played pretty well. What's the mindset of preparing for a game in that gym compared to the blue gym?
Well, it was the same mindset, but we just had to remember that they already had like away games, so they were kind of like on the rougher end, but I think that it was like the same as playing in the new gym.
Fairmont's a team that you had just seen during the holiday tournament. How valuable was that, knowing the sorts of things that Fairmont is capable of doing?
It was good to see them before because then we could change what we did wrong. So we changed our whole defense against them, and we didn't press or anything. And we played man-to-man. We didn't do 2-3.
The first time around, they really pounded the ball inside, and that really set up their outside shooters. This time around, you guys did a pretty effective job of shutting off the inside. What did it take to shut off the inside from them?
So now we had our post fronting the number 33, which was one of their bigger post players. And so then they couldn't get it into her, so it was harder for them to get outside looks without that.
Offensively for you guys, you were down 4 at halftime, and you guys came out like gangbusters to start the second half. I believe it was a 12-0 run. What adjustments were you guys able to make at halftime? And during that run, I think you had a couple of three-pointers to start that run.
Yeah, we knew it wasn't going to be hard, and it was just play after play. Like, we did go on a run, but you don't just, like, immediately get ahead of them. It's just one play at a time.
A big part of that is defense. You don't go on a 12-0 run without shutting the other team down. Defensively, all season it's been kind of interesting to watch the evolution of your team, because you've played some press against Fairmont. The first time around, like you said, the press didn't work, and that forced some adjustments. But as a whole this season, you guys have been undersized, and against a team like Fairmont with a little bit of height, that's a big challenge.
So one of the things, like, even though we're not big, we're faster than a lot of teams, which I think like benefits us a lot.
Tell me about your role on the offensive side this year, because most teams kind of have an idea that Windham's a team that likes to get into the lane. They've got players that can slash to the basket, but then, watch out because the three-pointer's coming.
Mm-hmm. I think that I'm good at both threes and driving, so it kind of just depends what I'm doing better at that night, so I kind of just depends.
Mm-hmm. And Friday night, it was a little bit of both. You hit a couple of threes, you got a couple of driving buckets, but maybe more importantly, you were able to get into the lane and set up some other shooters. And that's a role that you've really embraced.
Yeah, I like doing that too, because it just like gives other people like time to shine, and I don't need all of it. I can set up other people for success.
Defensively though, when you guys lost Cameron to injury again this season, that really changed a lot of things on the defensive end, especially for you, because you are a little bit taller, so you might have to guard a post player. Tell me about the challenge of playing defense in the post when you're more of a perimeter player.
Yeah, so during Fairmont or whatever, I had to play against a post, and it's hard because a lot of times they can just push me around, but I'm also really tall, so I can still play how a post would play.
You came up to varsity last season, and it was, a little bit up and down, really for the whole team a year ago. What was it like for you making the jump to varsity as a freshman? Maybe a little bit before you might have been ready for it.
Yeah, last year I was very scared. I would always play, and I was nervous every time I would get the ball, but I feel like this year I've been more confident with it.
Take me through that process of just becoming a more confident player, more confident in your own skills.
Well, it's more just like getting comfortable with the team and knowing that if you make a mistake, they're not going to be upset. Like, we have such a strong bond as a team, and I know that they're not going to get mad at me if I make a mistake.
One thing that I've noticed about you as a player, is you tend to be your toughest critic.
Mm-hmm.
How do you find a balance between, being your own toughest critic and, giving yourself constructive criticism?
Yeah, I get mad at myself at the moment, but then I remember, like, I just got to get the next play then.
Looking ahead for you guys, I don't know who set this up,
Yeah.
but you've got Laverne on back-to-back nights this week. I imagine, obviously as we're doing this interview on Monday, you got Redwood tonight, but Laverne on back-to-back nights is going to be a huge challenge. What's it going to take to maybe steal a win from those guys?
We're just going to have to play our hardest and just give it our all and leave everything out on the court. Probably that game at Fairmont. It was just, or not at Fairmont, but at Wyndham. It's just crazy how we could come for that. And we played them before and didn't think that we would pull out the win. Taylor Swift, Marshall and Laverne. Funny and outgoing. I like to read and watch TV.
Well, that should be all we need. Congratulations on a nice win Friday night. Best of luck the rest of the way. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Hy-Vee in Wyndham is your employee-owned grocery store, featuring the freshest produce and a full-service meat department. Visit our deli with hot, ready-to-eat entrees and daily lunch counter specials. Great selection, outstanding service, Hy-Vee of Wyndham, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.